I will set the stage with what I believe are the important areas that we need to touch on this afternoon or this early evening. Actually, it's this normal evening here at 6:30. But what we're looking at here is a nice rebound so far. As we know, standard operating procedure, exactly what we expected a couple days ago if it were to take the up route, which it has. But now we need to get over a very key level. And this is what I want to talk about very in-depth on this live. I've been waiting all day to come on live. I just love being with everybody so much, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. I just love getting our point across and trying to do what we need to do here and being able to come to an educated and informed reaction from not just me, but the audience, and coming to an honest conclusion of what we really think is going to happen. Not because we need to get views, not because we're trying to make money, not because we want to make it look better than it is or worse than it is, just because it's the plain facts. So I like coming in here every single day, and I like laying it down the way it is. Some people say I was negative in this morning's update, which I disagree. I just simply was stating what we need to do to avoid a dead cat bounce. And I talked 4 to 5 minutes this morning in length about what could happen if in fact a dead cat bounce happens, and then we end up falling some 25 or 28%. We're trying to figure out how to avoid that situation. So yes, for some it's going to sound negative. To others, you're going to understand. Sometimes when you speak the truth, if it's not aligning with somebody else with what they say, it could come off as negative. In no way am I coming off negative nor positive, as I don't try to let my emotions dictate what I'm going to say. I let what I'm seeing in front of me and understanding of what the chart and what the implications are at certain areas. And what exactly is a dead cat bounce? Well, if you don't know what that is, a dead cat bounce after a lengthy drop. After a lengthy drop, and we had a nice lengthy drop here. Even if you just go back to July 31st, we dropped down XRP from July 31st to yesterday, dropped down 33%. So after a 33% drop, all of a sudden now, we're still down 22.7%, but we've had about a 10.3% pullback here. So where we've been able to par some of the losses, but still overall, if you bought at that 63 cent area or 65 when it got way up there a little bit, you'd still be down 22.7 cents. And the simple term of the dead cat bounce would be, well, hey, it's looking good. It's come up, and it could even come up another about 5.9%. So that'd be a 17% move in the last 24 to 36 hours. And then it would, in a dead cat bounce scenario, this is what it would be doing. And this is why you pay very close attention after you've had a big dump off, massive liquidity sell off, and you want to make sure that this is the bottom if it actually is. And you want to make sure that what happens after it isn't just a dead cat bounce. One way to figure that out is you get past the main resistance of the drop, which we all know what it was. Some might speculate it was the 2018 resistance. That's not what caused us to have the free fall. What caused us to have the free fall was the loss of 53.6 cents. It was the pennant flag that it created, or however you want to distinguish this. I'm not going to tell you how to read a chart if it doesn't align with what I'm saying, but I'm going to tell you it as I see it. So it may not be what's aligned with what you believe, but at least you know I'm telling you what I think I know. Because at the end of the day, I can only tell you what I think I know. So right now, when we lost 53.9, and as we can see, that looked like the pennant flag. That looked like we came up, and if we were going to have a nice continuation, and we'll get into the intro, but I wanted to start out hot here before I commented or talked to anybody or anything like that. Mark Caston, thank you for not only being in Tom's Army for 3 months plus with the XRP Meteor, but also with a $2 donation. Says the EMA. Oh, no, that was on there. I appreciate that, my friend. I really, really, really appreciate that. So the reason why I would call this almost like a pennant flag, or this is just your range, because it came up, and it wasn't an expandable range, like boom, boom, down, a little bit farther, but then it broke through. So now that this broke through, if this is a dead cat bounce, fully anticipate coming up here, and we've talked about this rejection point. If it's a dead cat bounce, it could get rejected here. You could even come back up here, retest that 2018 resistance, and if it's bullish, watch this. Ready? You got 3 scenarios that could play out here. From here, it just collapses, right? Obviously that could happen. But let's just say it's going to continue on. If it comes up here, Just because it gets rejected here is not bad. You actually want to come up to 58.1, reject and back test 53.9, and I'll tell you why in a minute, and then do this. And do you see what happens? You create that inverse head and shoulders, and it actually would be absolutely spectacular if it did it in this fashion. And then you could push up to the higher level and try to tap that resistance up above, and that would be up here. That would be the most bullish of scenarios in my opinion. Another scenario, if one of two ways a dead cat bounce can be implemented here, obviously if we fall through, but right here, if we bounce here and just come back, that's the worst case scenario. If you hit 53.6 and nothing happens, done. Well, actually the worst case scenario is never getting up there and coming back through 50 cents now and just boom and just rolling over before we ever get to do it. But these are the things that could happen. And I show you the negative, but I also show you the positive, because we need to know the positive if in fact it works out in our favor and it starts breaking bullish. If it also works out, as I like to say, in our favor and breaks bearish, we'll know where to have the dry powder ready for, and we'll know the exact area to target. We knew on that last drop, and I appreciated, as much as I get bashed, somebody who may have bashed me last week came on and said, I was wrong. I thought it was going to stop at 53, for sure 50, and I got liquidated out of my leverage position. You were right, and I learned. And like when people say stuff like that, it's not about me being right. It's about understanding that just because our personal emotion tells us one thing, I don't let my emotion say anything anymore. I just look at the charts, and if it doesn't align with what the chart is showing me, I reevaluate. Like right now, we know that 53 cents. If we were to break 53, it would realign with the retest here, especially if we got over the 2018 resistance to try to retest the rising channel resistance. Now, the one thing that bothers me here is, can anybody else understand what I'm going to say here, or do you at least acknowledge this? The fact that on the sell volume, we topped out at 24 million, and this is in, what time frame am I in right now? I switched it, the 2 hourly. And then when we started to push up, we had another candle come down and we had 20 million. Our first big candle coming up, 14.2. Then we had 4.5. That's a big breakdown. Look how small the volume is in comparison. It's low. We have a low volume here. That generally doesn't end well. Whenever this little surge ends, because of the volume that's coming in, it generally won't end well. And we've been here before. Remember how we talked a couple weeks before that ultimate drop we just had, the volume was looking bad and it was cause for concern. Even though we kept going up, the volume incrementally kept coming down. So we had a case where we had rising price but crashing volume, and we always know how that ends. A correction, and they're never friendly. And we just seen it. We had a hell of a correction, like 34% over 6 days. So what I'm personally expecting is for this to complete. You see that head and shoulders? In order for this to complete, that's a big Bart Simpson double top, or Batman top, I should say in this case. And remember how, I don't know, I don't want to talk in past tense, but if you were here, you would remember, or at least maybe it would, maybe you'll remember when I say this. We talked about as long as we stayed within that setup, we didn't have to worry about this. The moment we got rejected by this, it's a topping reversal pattern. You already got the Batman top set up, and we're going to have a big drop, likely, but it doesn't have to. We had measured it out, and it came down to about 43, 42. Let's see exactly. We had it measured out. I deleted it because we already had the drop. But it didn't have to just be inclusive to just this drop. It could have been farther. It could have been less. But that technical, I mean, look at that. Look how close it came. Now that you can see the evidence. You see how that actually worked out? Like, it's not that I make the rules. It's not that I get bearish when things happen. It's because I know. I knew once that broke, it was a big drop. And it absolutely, I mean, you want to talk about hitting that 100%? I didn't hit that. That's just understanding the pattern formation. The formation itself hammered it. It hammered it. This is exactly what you need to understand when the patterns are going on. At the same time, had this have broke up, just because it came down there to 43 cents and satisfied that drop, had it have broke up from here, It was in current times right around 76.7. So we could have had a move to 76.7, but if we broke down, the move was to 43 and it happened. Now we're back testing to see if this is going to be continuing down or if we can avoid even coming down here to double bottom. If we want to avoid that, we need to retake 53.6 cents, the exact formation broken that caused the exact targeted move that was already predicted before the drop or the rise. It just happened to take the down move. So now this is invalidated. This doesn't need to be up there, and now we go from here. We can revalidate that possibility, but we would have to get over that consolidation and break to the bullish side this time. It's that simple. So that's what's happening so far. But let me go in real quick. Let me talk to everybody, and then we'll do the intro because I see a lot of comments. Actually, let's do the intro. Make sure to hit that like button so YouTube recommends this live. I would be greatly appreciative if you hit that like button. YouTube recommends this I've got a lot of information to share this evening. A lot of information. Only 1/3 of you have hit the like button so far, but that's okay. I'll try to convince you. I'm not going to tell you to do it, but I'll try to convince you with the information I give you. I'm going to try to do this a little differently from now on. I'm not going to try to convince you to hit the like button. I'm going to try to force you to hit the like button because you can't avoid it because of the intel I'm giving you. So, we're also going to read Ripple XRP demand in the U.S. hits pre-SEC lawsuit levels, and now it makes up 14% of global demand, or global volume, which is very interesting. We'll go over the crypto fear and greed index, as it was in extreme fear earlier, and we'll get updated on that. Make sure to hit that like button, and I will catch you on the other side of the intro. Good evening, 6:43 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Tuesday, August 6th, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So I'd like to welcome everybody for tuning in. We've got, let's see, a lot of people it looks like. Dirty Dozen, welcome in. Cobb, good evening. Yes, XRP Future Millionaire with the side bet on XLM and Future Digibite OG. I love when somebody mentions that in the comment because it makes me say it. And I like saying it. And I'll say it more in the future. That's how I used to start in the beginning. Let's see. JW, welcome in and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So Badge. Hope everything's going well with you. Cobb says BRICS is developing its own payment system independent of US SWIFT and is rumored to utilize XRP in that task. The very same rumors that I first started when I first learned of the BRICS makeup back, well, when I learned about deep it ran in 21. I tried my hardest to make everybody realize that the BRICS were going to try in some way when it was formulated to go off of the SWIFT system, and that's where XRP would be implemented. Not because it's a world currency, mind you. It's the alternative to something even deeper. And we're not going to go into that right now, but just understand there's a lot more than just, oh, XRP's at, what are we at today? I don't even know. Fucking 50, what are we at right now? 51 cents? There's a lot more than goes up with that. A lot more that goes into it than just that. Mark Caston, welcome in, along with Vato Damas, welcome in. Thank you both for being in Tom's Army for over 3 months with the XRP Meteor. Let's see. Cobb says, I've been following Tom since before he got his official intro. Cobb, that goes all the way back to early 21 because Steven made it for me in July of 2021. So you'd have to been following me before July of 21 to know me before that intro. So you know my old snail buddy that I used to have in the Final Countdown intro that I created, but they wouldn't let me use it when I became a partner because it had the Final Countdown in it. Now I could have used it and split the revenue with them for that little small spot, but before you used to get a strike. So that's awesome. Brad, welcome in and thanks for being in. Yeah, Sherman JW. I wanted to see if somebody actually knew the name. Yes, Sherman indeed. I love it. Love it. He got very happy when we went from 47 cents all the way to a $1.98 real quick. Remember, I had to keep redoing the intro, and I crossed out the old number, put the new one, and then when it came down, I'd have to cross it down and put it down, and you get a little sadder. Oh, so fun. I miss those days. Trading with J-Ride, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the XRP 589 Moon Badge. Mo, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XRP Predictor. John Hall, good evening, brother. Hope you're having a blessed evening. Kyle Horak, welcome in. Minus 25%, you're spot on. Yes, Kyle, that I appreciate that, and that's what, unfortunately, if we do break down what would happen. Bolzak says, love the honesty. It's all I know, and I'm glad you appreciate it, because that is why you are here. And I preach to the ones who want to know. Some of the other ones will call me an asshole. They'll leave. They'll unsubscribe. They'll slander my name. But that's okay. I need that. You need the dark to show you how pure the light is, remember. Con, welcome in. Sean Crothers, good evening, and thanks for... It's funny that your name would be Con. Not Con, C-O-N, like I'm being conned, but Con, like in King of the Hill, his old Hank Hill's neighbor that he despised, Con. Not that we despise you, Con, but he's Con in that fashion. God damn it, Con. Dagnabbit. All I can think of is Hank now. Sean Crothers, welcome in, my main man from Maine. Also a very trusted mod. Star Trek, Con, that is true. But I did not watch Star Trek. I know. Bring in the insults now, everybody. And I was born in 83, so I definitely should have watched it. Ring Thane, welcome in. You are welcome, friend. John Page, morning to you, friend. E4 Rockin', good evening. Angela Dean, welcome in, and thank you, love, for being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the XRP 589 Moon Badge. But I do know who you're talking about, mainly because of memes these days. CJ2 Pilot, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XRP Predictor. Hi, everyone. Glad to be here. We have a great fam. I love that Tom doesn't sugarcoat. He keeps it real. Oh, thank God. When I first started reading that, I had my mind tends to read ahead in somebody's comment. I seen surgery. I'm like, uh-oh, did he have a surgery or something? I'm glad it's just that I don't sugarcoat things. Excellent. I do try to keep it as real as I can. Well, I don't try. And to my detriment, sometimes I keep it too real. XGP, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 3 months with the XP Meteor. Julie, welcome in, my significant other in Tom's Army for over 3 years. Eat your heart out with that XRP Diamond Hands badge. That's the most exclusive one. Oh, I love that badge. That proves that you've had commitment longer than you could imagine. Tanya May, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year, love, with that I told you so badge. Retail Bulls getting wrecked. Bitcoin rejected on 200. I did see that already, but we'll get into Bitcoin as well. Let me finish getting through this. Lee says, hold strong indeed. Let's see. I think I got most. Free Toast, welcome in. What's up, my friend Marvin? Good evening. And some ask me, Tom, why do you say hi to everybody? You took the time to say hi to me. I take the time to say hi to you. And then if I miss it the rest of the way, you can't hold a grudge against me, because after all, I'm doing the update. But this is my thank you to all of you. Bradley, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for your first month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens, and that's my face superimposed on there, I kid you not. And by the way, thanks to the very generous ones like Bradley who have joined for his first month, so he gets to play into this right now. To anybody who's ever joined Tom's Army, past, present, or future, or anybody who sent a donation today, which there's been one person already, surprisingly, in the past or present, it is because of you that everybody watching right now is watching this ad-free. It is a thing that I do as the sponsors of my show, the members of Tom's Army, are my only official sponsors. They are making this ad-free, so you don't have to watch an ad during the live, because I don't want you to lose out on something because you have to see an ad while I'm live. But after the live ends, when it's in rerun, we go back to regularly scheduled advertising as YouTube sees fit, so that they'll promote my content. So thank the members of Tom's Army. Don't think you members of Tom's Army it's for nothing. You've done a lot, believe me. And anybody who's ever sent a donation. So thank you for that, everybody. Thank you for that. A cheap way for me to give a plug to the members and the ones who have donated and paid it forward. The Gatman, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the XRP 589 Moon Badge. Tom also has a buddy named Bob. I do. Well, I'm glad somebody brought my name up. Bob, we got to get going here. I'm already well behind, and everybody's going to leave. Salvador, welcome in. And volume looks horrible. It doesn't look great, does it, Salvador? Nick Morales, welcome in. Haters gonna hate Tom, yes, but the haters are gonna show the truth and they're gonna show us the real. I like the haters because then they show the real ones too. You know, you gotta have the haters, you gotta have the ones who praise you because it creates an even medium because then you don't get too high or low and you stay humble if you treat it properly. Wade, welcome in. Donald, good evening. Gray, Paw. Anthony Venegas, spiritual gang related, welcome in. Roared, yes indeed. Oliver Marks, I'm glad you're here as well. I'm glad that you are here. Very glad. Bradley, many more months to come. Thank you for all your dedications. Thank you, Bradley. And to both of you, Oliver Marks and Bradley, once again, thank you for both being in your first month of Tom's Army. And I know it's true because you got the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. Yes, indeed, a Rooney. And then last but not least, actually two more. Brad, welcome in. Says, hi Tom, love your work. Hope the family are all well. We're doing fantastic right now, actually. Better than we've done in a long time, if I'm being honest. It's the first time I feel like we actually have a grasp on our little guy since his accident. And thank you for being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the XRP 589 Moon Badge. And John London, welcome in. This is a new record. We've got 2 people in here at the same time with the XRP 589 Diamond Hands Badge. So if you're wondering what that 3-year badge looks like, and what the ones who have been dedicated in Tom's Army for the longest look like, that's the Diamond Hands badge, and that's the most dedicated badge you could possibly imagine. Even when you get to the 4-year badge, it won't be the Diamond Hands badge. Right? So, and I'll be here for the 4 and 5 and 10. We're going to be here for a long time. We got a lot to cover, a lot more places to go, and we barely even touched the surface. Before we get going, what's going on Fear and Greed Index real quick? So, just yesterday, we were at 34 fear. Now we were at 17 extreme fear. Last week we were at greed 74. So I like when it gets into extreme greed because typically you'll have one more catastrophic drop and that might just be to come back to double bottom, but most will view this. See what will happen here. Let's just say XRP, and don't get mad at me. This is let's imagine XRP at some point here, right? At some point it gets a rejection. Maybe it's 53.6. Maybe it can't hold 50 cents. But we end up coming back down. Now, if we come back down, most of us will see this as a general double bottom. And we can get going. Ready? Boom, boom. And then it does this. Maybe it comes down to here to make the bullish Gartley at 40.8. And then we start working up and you can see what could happen, right? Some of you can see that, right? Others will see this. Well, it's over. XRP already dropped 34%. Now it's come down 16.7%. This is the biggest pile of shit known to man. I'm done. I can't take it anymore. I'm tired of Ripple manipulating us and dumping it on us. I'm tired of them releasing 1 billion and blah, blah, blah. And you'll hear the same bullshit you hear every single month on repeat since God only knows, since the beginning of time with XRP. At least since 2021 in time. Because now everybody's becoming more wise to it. Partially my fault because I show you the realness. And now people are starting to run with it, which I like. So they'll say that, but all it's really done is it came back down and proved the double bottom was intact. And we were able to hold that area of support. And that the 2016 or 2018 resistance and the support that accompanied it in 2020 was still intact. That's all it would say. But everybody would jump off a cliff, even though it's already telling us there's probably a 75% chance that that scenario is going to have to play out. Not because I'm mad, not because I'm negative, not because I despise XRP or I'm just giving up. For God's sake, guys, I said it was going to be under $1 for a while and I was going to prove it by not cutting my hair until we at least hit $1 or we hit all-time highs, but I reserved to cut it at $1. I really don't think I'll be able to cut it ever again. Julie already is not, I think she's already realizing we've created a monster. Because I have a hoarder mentality now. You know, if there's one thing to hoard, it's my hair. I'm 40 now. My dad's kind of balding. My brother's balding. My grandpa's got a ring around his head. And, you know, so this is just telling you how long you've had a chance to accumulate under $1. You know, I haven't cut my hair since last July. It's been 13 months. I mean, look at that. So it's been a very long time. And yes, I'm very blessed with my hair. I acknowledge it. but it cost me an eye. And what I mean by that is I can only see out of one eye. So I have nice hair, but my eye can only see out of one. So, you know, you take it for what it is, and I'm very blessed to have one eye, and I'm appreciative of it. I can see blur out of the left eye, but that's it. But that's what I'm looking at, though. But does everybody see why that is such a likely scenario? If it gets rejected anywhere, even from here, but unless we can break through and how we can invalidate that, it's exactly what I talked about in my update this morning. I'm not going to talk past tense a lot, but it's true. The only way to invalidate this thought process is to not only break 53.6, but ultimately retake 58.1 and in time push out of this range and then get out of here, because now we've established a resistance area that has proven to push us down very far distances. And now we're on the bottom side of it. So these, until we push out, are dead cat bounces. I don't make the rules. I didn't make the lingo. If you want to yell at somebody, go yell at the Fed. You know, go yell at the central banks for lying to you. Go sell out. I'm not even going to talk about it anymore. You know, because I don't want to get banned. But go yell at somebody else. You know, you got to take the truth for what it is. And if you get mad at me, take a hard look at yourself, because I'm even mad sometimes when I talk. I watch my reruns. I'm like, this guy's a dick. I hold XRP. He's making me sound like a piece of shit right now for holding it. But no, I'm not trying to do that. But I'm telling you, I watch myself back, so I know what everybody sees. I can see where people can get that feeling, you know. Look at it this way. That's a nice rooted tooth there with a nice enamel from what I'm seeing here. So if it can hold that, look how nicely it's set in there in your jaw. You know, can't you see the benefit? That's a nice crab with a nice pincher, or a lobster right now. Until it's invalidated, it's fine. In fact, it's beneficial to come down and double bottom. It is. And we didn't make that V-shape. XRP needs a root in it. It's true, though, because there is the circle there, so I can see that. That's true. That's some deep damage there to that tooth. But, you know, if you keep it in perspective, it doesn't have to be bad. With all this talk, I want to see your cat just to make sure it's okay. Yeah, where is Ghost? Ghost! Oh, she's sleeping. She's over here. Why are you sleeping over... My cat's sleeping right now. And, you know, it's very windy. And you guys see I'm in a sweatshirt. And I live in Michigan, and it's the beginning of August. It should be 90. Yesterday was 90, basically. Today, the high was 68, and it was raining. And, you know, it's sweatshirt temperature now. I don't know what the temperature is now, just to prove it to everybody that it's actually not very warm right now. And it's gloomy, dark. It was raining. Actually, 68, you know. Feels quite breezy right now and cool. Nice. But, yeah. Oh, yeah. I seen when he was talking about the cat with the dead cat bones. If XRP it's $10, Julie will grow a beard. I don't know if Julie's still in here, but Julie, would you grow a beard for 10? She couldn't anyhow. It wouldn't work. We might have to get her on some, I don't even know what it is these days. I don't want to say anything that'll get me banned. We'd have to give her some kind of, testosterone or something to make her grow more hair. Let's see. Mark C. Hair Antenna, great community. Yes, indeed. It is a great community here. I love how we can just talk. But let's get serious real quick. So, we know the levels with XRP. So, what does this mean for Bitcoin? Bitcoin's up. It looks great, right? Up 4.01%. Up 2,167 points. And, again, I don't make the rules about the charts. But how did we know that it could hit certain areas? We didn't want to. We don't want to say, oh, this is what's going to happen. But, you know, if it comes through certain areas, you got to acknowledge, and that's all we do. We have the pattern set up. I don't know anything more than you. The only thing I might do better than you is understand how to set up a formation and understand what it means when we get to rejections or hit supports. You know, but other than that, we all see the same thing. It's just a matter of how many times we've seen it and how our brain rationalizes it and how much emotion we put into it. So right now, the biggest problem with Bitcoin is, one, we're still below this key area that I established a long time ago because it would have created a nice inverse head and shoulders. Now it can create a nice back test resistance at 58,384. So the same thing I thought could be a support, it could be an overwhelming resistance. The same thing here though. With that massive sell volume, Look how low the volume is on the buy. I'm not joking. It's half as big as the sell volume. That's not what you want to see. It's not what you want to... I mean, everything I'm seeing here tells me that it's not over yet. Now, could we invalidate this not being over? Abso-fucking-lutely. And it'd be great. But right now, bigger things are starting to happen here, unfortunately. Bigger things are starting to happen. We don't have to be afraid of it. But it also is going to create one hell of a bounce back when it's over. 3 hourly bearish. And if you know what that is, that's a gravestone in the 3 hourly. Downward pressure, and that is not an inverted hammer. At least in my opinion. I guess you could use that rationale. But if you're convinced this is an inverted hammer, you better make sure that that price is somewhere around 56,800 on this close. Otherwise, if you see it below this 58,230, not only in the 3 hourly or below the 20-day, but you're giving credence to the fact that this is a bearish continuation candle, likely, and it'll probably send us back down here at minimum to 53,385 if it starts coming back in that direction. I'm not trying to give you bad news. I'm just trying to show you what could happen. But I've also started out by saying how we could get out of this area. So, you know, don't shoot the messenger. I've also shown you the good. So, shown you the good, showed you the bad. 109 people. There is no way I've been talking for 31 minutes already. I'd like to welcome in the new members and the old members that have found their way back to the community. Both parts are equally important and integral to me. The first group, the older members, all of you, have helped me form the identity that I've wanted with a loving community. Positivity over negativity. The winners. We want winners here, not victims. We want love over hate. We want the power of positivity to pull us in. Hell, we even have gospel sometimes. As I say, don't forget to give thanks to your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Ruffles a few feathers, but hey, I can only be who I am, my own person, after all. I'm going to ruffle some feathers. I just hope to keep more unruffled, that's all. But you help us keep this a place. And remember, you need the light to show the darkness. Actually, it extinguishes the darkness. But you need the darkness to show you just how grand and beautiful the light really is. The new members... You will help us not only bring new ideas and new visions, but it is also your job to continue this beautiful love of this place of love, this place of hope. We have humanity, we have integrity, we have decency, we have honor here. And that starts with your leader. And I only use that in the present because, after all, you are in my community. So you're a branch of what I believe in. So I don't push the negativity, and we try to help each other. So remember, new or old, you're equally important. Because you can bring on a new day in this journey. So, 21, I was a dick. I would yell, I would scream if I didn't get my way. I would tell everybody that they were pretty much assholes. You guys all remember 21, but we got the job done. We had a lot of critics, but we made a lot of money, so everybody bought the bullshit. And they listened. And it wasn't bullshit, it's just you had to take a lot of abuse. 22, I started to see the light. When I seen that everybody who talked a good game in 21... In 22, when the price got to where it needed, they all faded away and they said, oh, XRP's junk. Those same very people that said it would never get down there disappeared. In 23, I started to become a much more calmer person, but didn't quite get the grasp yet. I got triggered a few times. In 24, I became a much more humble, even though I was humble from the beginning, a much more humble, a much more pleasant person to watch. But I also started to incorporate it sometime into early to mid 23 into my channel for the first time, my beliefs. You know, I'm not afraid to say, you know, my high praise to our Lord and Savior. I'm not afraid to talk about when I go to church or whatever the case may be, or if I was reading a Bible, whatever the case may be. You know, we became a more wholesome community is the point. So we leave away all the negativity. And after all, we're dealing with finance. Nobody has any time for that shit anyhow, to be honest with you. Nobody has time for all that negativity and nonsense. We're building finance here. If we were playing a video game or doing something else, if I was playing Fortnite and you guys were watching, that's one thing. We could shoot the shit all day. But the fact that we're talking finance, it's imperative. And I'm trying to shoot some threes here and kill some time, as you know. Because I want to see how this 3 hour candle continues to shape out. Right now, it ain't looking fucking good. It's completely invalidated. But look, see, this is an inverted hammer, folks. See, okay, beautiful. This is an inverted hammer. Not a gravestone. This actually is turning into a long leg doji because it pulled down a little bit more. Instead of a gravestone. Which is also indicative of a reversal candle. Long leg gravestone. See this one right here, designed as a bearish candle, but it was a dragonfly, which is actually a bullish continuation candle if it gets the continuation on the next one. But that would only be validated to move up like that, because they can still be invalidated, but they, you know, a hold on the next one, which it did. We've got a it's hard to find them in the 3 hour, believe it or not. It's a lot easier to find the gravestone in the 2 hourly. I don't know why. More like this. Look at this. See? Right here. Let me see how this looks right here. Where's this at? Right here. See how this looks? It's green, but this is a gravestone disguised as a green candle in the Hikinashi. See how that looks? And then look how this one looks right here. Where's this at? Right here. This is an inverted hammer. See the difference between this and how it's squeezed down and it had a little bit of body compared to this? That's the difference between a gravestone and a inverted hammer. Very similar, but very, very telling at the same time. And when I say, I mean telling. So 4 hourly if we build on top of the 3 hourly, because the 3 hourly is a reversal candle. Can't get rid of that now unless we have a huge break one way or the other. 4 hourly also is now breaking into reversal candle territory. Interesting. An invalidation of the prior reversal. And we can already see, folks, I mean, I can see what's lining up here. Unless we invalidate this in a hurry, I'm warranted to talk more negative than positive right now. It's warranted. We have a death cross already played through. We didn't get the big V-shaped recovery all the way back up. And I don't care what anybody says. If this was a real V-shaped recovery right now, and it doesn't mean it can't be a different kind of recovery, but I think we have to edge out the V-shape. V-shape should have already come straight up. This right now is already lagging to the side. I mean, I suppose it could do that, but it's still starting to lag a little bit too long for my liking. If you're new here right now, it might be a slap of reality, a slap in the face. I mean, it's true. The only person that I can really tell you that might talk like I do in a similar fashion if you watch, and there's others that speak the truth, but Gregory Mannarino is probably the one who will be the most blunt as I will. There's a lot of people that are blunt, but then there's Gregory Mannarino, so I like to put him in a class of mine. I like Gregory Mannarino. He doesn't even know I exist, unfortunately, and he'll never know I exist because I'm not good enough for somebody like him to understand that I exist, but I thrive to be on the radar of those people. If I can get on the radar of those people, we're on the right track. If I could get on the radar of Peter Schiff, who has 1 million followers on X, and he's got, what, 600,000-700,000 on YouTube, I'm assuming now, that's where I need to be. If Mike Maloney would reach out to me, or, you know, some of these other ones, if I could sit down with Jordan Peterson, then you really know I made it. But until that happens, we're just the small guy and will always be, in my belief. It doesn't mean we can't hit 6 figures in followers, because we're almost 25% of the way there, believe it or not. I might be 60 when we get there, but damn it, we're going to make it. So, but that's how we go. The double bottom is always in effect until it's not after a big drop like that, unfortunately. And what I mean by that is until you invalidate it, it's always in effect. It's always in effect. Then we know you sold your soul like the rest of them. You know, spiritual gang reality, I mean, I guess to a certain extent that could be true. That would be true. No, I can't go nowhere because I unfortunately, nobody needs to be watching, and I still won't do something wrong because I have a soul and I have dignity and I have honor. So even if there's nobody in the room and you leave all your money in the world, your most precious possessions, or your most fragile person, I'm not going to hurt them. I'm not going to steal anything. In fact, I'm going to make sure it stays safe. So, you know, you either are that way or you're not. Like if I walk into a store, there's nobody there and it's the end of the world, yeah, I'll take something because who the fuck cares? And everything's out. But in a general sense, a regular formulated, whether as big of a shit show as our society is, you know, there's got to be some decency and you've got to have some kind of dignity. Otherwise, everybody's just going to kill each other and you can't have that. Ripple XRP demand in the U.S. hits pre-SEC lawsuit levels with 14% of global volume. Ripple stated that XRP spot trading volume ranked among the top 3 during the second quarter of this year. Let's see exactly what this is about. We'll do our relaxation here as well. Funny how the stock market down, but crypto doing okay and rebounding. I mean, yeah, to a certain extent. But if here, how about this? How about this? You want to know a funnier thing? You want it? Ready? We can, and this is, I'm not, trust me, I'm not saying, hey, I'm pointing it out at you, asshole. Yeah, I'm gonna make you. No, that's not what I'm saying. But ready? From the top to the bottom. Ready? 6.87%. The recovery has been about 25% of that drop. Now we're only about 4.6% down. As to where, and yes, on the onset, it looks like the stock market's doing worse. It's like Bitcoin after all, because it's the biggest cryptocurrency as we took the stock market, right? We didn't take some commodity or other stock, like we didn't take XRP because it's just an altcoin. Remember, stock market fell 6.5%. Bitcoin fell 30. Rebounded by about 12. So technically the stock market has had a better rebound. I'll be right back. I got to go get something that's getting dropped off. Okay, sorry about that, everybody. Perfect timing because I'm about to light my last relaxation and my stuff just got dropped off. But Julie had already beat me to it. She went and got it already. What a beautiful soul she is. 100 people almost here still. So let's continue this reading. But does everybody understand what I mean by that? So technically, if you look at the stock market, which is indicative of all, you know, it's the Dow, and then you take Bitcoin. Yes, indeed, spiritual gang. That's exactly who it was. You're damn right. And, man, this stuff has been absolutely unbelievable. Unbelievable. It's, I know the last part of it's Thin Mints, but it's like, oh, what is it called? What is it called? I'm going to ask Julie. But it's, if you guys have the chance to smoke, I have not bought anything else than this, other than this, the last 3 times I've got it now. It's that good and I won't. I'm not getting anything else until this stuff isn't in stock anymore. And it's the best, it's one of the better ones I've ever had besides what I used to grow. We'll see if she responds. But it's so good. So, should we expect a double bottom? We don't know yet. If we can, okay. So the best answer I can give you is if XRP, because this is XRP and most people talk about that. If XRP doesn't get past 53.6 cents and we get a rejection and it comes back down, and then you see us come back below 50, most certainly that should be the expectation. Especially if we start using 50 as resistance. You should be expecting that. Now, the only way to invalidate that feeling is if first we get past that 53.8 and then over 58.1 cents to get back on top to 2018 resistance. Then we got some more resistance like the rising channel at 60.4. We've got 64.1 roughly, which is the downtrending resistance on the handle resistance on the cup and handle. A lot of resistance above us that we still need to get through, but we got to make sure we maintain our support structure as well. So I know I talk a lot, I put out a lot of information, but there's a lot of stuff to talk about, and I've only got so little time to do it. It seems like I'm always here, but really what's 1 hour out of 24 in a day? And then I do another, 20, 30 minutes worth of updates throughout the day. So you get an hour and a half of me a day. It's a little more for me to do the work, to update and do all that, but because I don't pre-plan, because I don't have to rehearse, I literally just come on and talk. I don't, that's it. I just talk. It just, whatever's in my head comes out. It's the gab of gift, I suppose, or the gift of gab. Demand for Ripple's XRP in the United States has surged to its highest level in 4 years, reaching figures last seen before the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) alleged the token was a security in 2020. Data from Kaiko shows that XRP's trading volume on U.S. centralized exchanges has jumped 14%, jumped to 14% of global XRP volume. You know what that means? That means the global demand for XRP, that's global, that's everywhere. The U.S. now accounts for 14% of the volume on centralized exchanges. Up from less than 2% a year ago. So it's the U.S. commands more than 12% more market share. You think it's me and you? Or do you think it's U.S. institutions going unnoticed? AKA the big whales. I'm going to let you guess on that. This marks a return to pre-SEC lawsuit levels when the digital asset ranked among the top 3 digital assets by market capitalization. And this is where we see. We're right where we were at in October of 2020. Amid the protracted legal battle when the SEC XRP saw a drastic decline. Tom, today we combine Ohio. Excellent, Nick. It's about damn time. It's about time. Kudos to Ohio for finally making that possible. Nick Morales, welcome in. He says crypto. He's already been here, but he says crypto likes to follow NASDAQ, so I won't be surprised if crypto drops. It does like to follow the NASDAQ, but I've seen an even closer correlation with the Russell 2000. Call me crazy. It seems like actually both are. That is correct. It does follow the NASDAQ. But to a more minute level, maybe the altcoins follow the Russell 2000 a little bit more. So yeah, technically, I agree. Brett says, love your show. I've learned so much and starting to listen to you. That's all I want. That's all I need to know. I love when people are learning. After all, there was a time in the not so recent past that I didn't know anything. And I used to ask people for help that had their very channels. And they'd want me to buy this or buy that. And I said, damn it, I'm going to learn and I'm going to do it for free. And then watch how generosity can keep you afloat. Amid the protracted legal battle with the SEC, XRP saw a drastic decline in interest as several crypto platforms delisted it from their platforms. However, things began to change last year after Ripple secured a judgment that declared that XRP sales on secondary trading platforms were not security transactions. Following the ruling, major U.S. exchanges like Coinbase and Gemini relisted XRP, unlocking substantial demand from American traders. Yes, it smells very fishy, JW. I agree with that. I agree with that. Let's see. Daniel says, no, I used the Russell. See, okay, so you see what I'm watching. So you understand what I'm talking about with the, Russell 2000. Not saying the NASDAQ is not correct because it actually is that in the stock market. It's a good key indicator as well. Following the ruling, major U.S. stock exchanges like Coinbase and Gemini relisted XRP, unlocking substantial demand from American traders. XRP spot volume. Notably, Ripple's quarterly report confirmed that interest in the XRP token was high. According to the firm, digital asset spot trading volume ranked among the top 3 in the industry during the second quarter. It stated XRP traded volumes remained elevated throughout the first half of the quarter. The latter half of Q2 maintained consistently high traded volumes across the major exchanges. And then you can read that for yourself. We've read that in the past. The surge, because I went through the actual Q2, the report that came out by Ripple, word for word, we went through it. The surge in interest is not expected, or unexpected. Julie? Oh, I thought I heard it. Unexpected, considering XRP attracted significant attention and speculation about a potential settlement with the SEC. Julie, what's this stuff called that we bought? Our relaxation. It's stuff. What is it? Oh yeah, it's jealousy times thin mints, and it's literally the best one. It's the best one I've had in so long. Isn't it like 28% THC? Yeah, I think this one's the 28.3% THC, so it's really up there too. Jealousy times thin mints. If you ever see that, take a shot on it. I'm telling you right now, and I'm a connoisseur, so it takes a lot to get me excited. Considering XRP has attracted significant attention and speculation about a potential settlement with the SEC, Last month, XRP was a top performing asset among the top 10 digital currencies, achieving a 35% gain, outperforming Bitcoin and others. Yeah, crossed with, exactly. Yup, we're also rejected at the 702 fib level. Interesting, very interesting. Meanwhile, Ripple's XRP ledger network experienced a significant drop in transaction volume during the second quarter, falling to 86.39 million transactions. And we talked about the 65.6% decrease on the XRP ledger from the previous quarter in transactions, which is crazy. Ripple attributes this decline to a broader trend affecting major blockchain protocols, with XRP reflecting a similar downturn. Notably, the average transaction fees on the network spiked by 168% to 0.00394 XRP during the time. That's a huge increase of 168% more per transaction. So it costs you 168% more. But what they're telling you, not telling you, is it's 0.3 of a penny per transit. So 0.3 of a fucking penny, it's not going to cost you shit still. It went up from 1/10 of a penny to almost 0.4 of a penny, or 1.5 pennies or whatever it was. But still, you don't even notice it. I just transferred some XRP today, because that's how I move money, and you don't even notice it. And if you're looking to trade XRP or your favorite crypto, look in the video description below. And as I call it, just join the next frontier. BITUNIX, HOTCOIN, video description below. Lowest spot and leverage trading fees. You don't need VPN or KYC. Anywhere worldwide you can use it, unless you're sending or receiving from a bank account, which you're going to want to do a KYC so someone steals your damn money. But take advantage now, deposit the money, get yourself situated. HotCoin, you can copy trade me there. Once you download the app, click on the link that is there and just, you not download the app, but once you join the exchange, put your money in the futures and find XRP future MIL. By the time you type in XRP, I'll come up. You'll know it's me. You'll see we're positive. Just look at the PNL if you're not confident. Right now we're up $133 on our $100 challenge. I haven't made a trade in about a day and a half now. But I'm looking for that next opportunity when I see fit. So you can always join that ongoing challenge we have. So yeah, it's up to you. But be very cautious and expect to lose money because it's leverage trading. So there's never any guarantee. We started with 100. We're up to 233, which means I can open up to a $233 trade now. In the beginning, I could only open up 100. However, Ripple remains confident about XRPL's future, anticipating a boost in network activity with features like the XRPL Ethereum Virtual Machine, EVM, sidechain, Elixir interoperability, and the new Oracle and multi-purpose token MPT standard. Additionally, the firm believes introducing tokenized real asset platforms like OpenEden and the upcoming launch of the Ripple USD stablecoin would drive further growth in the blockchain. And if you do appreciate what I do, consider joining Tom's Army or sending a YouTube super chat. It's not required, but consider it if you do appreciate what I do. It doesn't have to be today, sometime in the future. Maybe I tickle you the right way and you say, hey, he's deserved it. Where did my other XRP chart go? Interesting. Which one is missing here? Well, I'll be able to tell. Watch this. I'm so psychotic here with what I do. And I have 5,000 different things on here, so it's pretty interesting that I can just see it on the drop of a hat. So, what we're missing here is the XRP USDT Binance chart. We're missing the Binance chart. And I believe what I used was the perpetual Binance chart so that we could get the perpetual chart. So we could see the futures. Maybe it wasn't Binance. Interesting. Let's see which other one is not on here that's not I usually use. Hold on. XRP. Yeah, where's the USDT one? Interesting. I thought it was Binance that I used for the XRP USDT chart. Unless it didn't load in. Whoops. You know, it's an important chart. We got to have it up here. It's a very important chart. I'm pretty sure I used the Binance one. Or, I mean, I used the Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, I think it was Binance. I don't think it was Bybit on this one. Because I never use Bybit because I don't like Bybit. I could have swore it was this chart. So which other one would I have used for the USDTP? Oh, it was this one. Never mind. It was this one. I forgot I had MEXC because we were trading on MEXC for a while. I switched it from the other one. See? That's how we solve our problems. We just go through and we let our mind do the talking. They got to hear me work it out in real time. But yeah, somebody said they don't trust the market, or they trust gas station sushi more than they trust the market. I agree. And I don't like sushi. I don't care where you get it from. I don't like sushi. And no offense to anybody who eats like lobster or crayfish or crab or any of that. That's all bottom feeders, so you might as well eat a carp. Like, back in the day, that's what poor people would eat. And somehow they gave the facade to rich people that you had to eat that junk. You don't want to ever eat anything that cleans the bottom of the ocean. And I know I've offended a lot of people just now. But, you know, I'm here for you. I'm here for you, ladies and gentlemen. It's bottom feeders. Don't make yourself sick. Spiritual says bottom. See? You know Spiritual, and you are a fisherman after all. See? Everything we need to see this evening. And I hope I've left you off better than when you came in here. I really, really do. If we're looking at the XRP Bitcoin pairing, another thing that could tell you the technical target, if we do break this down, would be coming down to like the 768. But you can see that possible W reversal. But, and I'm not trying to be the bearer of bad news here. Please, everybody, I promise. I love XRP more than anybody. And you know how you know that's true? I've been here 3.5 years, day in and day out, without a break. I've never missed a day, continuing to cover this. I won't even cut my hair until our beautiful XRP hits $1. And it's been 13 months. Just to prove a point. Maybe I won't even cut it to all-time highs. Maybe I'll never cut it. But, I mean, this is a prototypical bear flag. If this doesn't use this as a W reversal and hold this uptrend and get the hell out of here. We need to get out of here. We need to go boom, 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 get the fuck out. Right? We can't afford this because then it'll end up being a bear flag. Dead. And not dead, just we're going to come down. I mean, that's just how it's going to go. Whoa, what's going on with Bitcoin? Bitcoin's under 56K now. Bitcoin was at like 56,500 at one point during this live. So that's about a 600 point come down. Maybe more than, I don't remember exactly how high it got. I don't even trust gold right now. I own a lot of gold and silver, but you know what I really believe is going to happen? I think they're going to break the necks of everybody. I think everybody's seen that drop and they're like, you know what? This is the best time for me to buy now, and and they're just expecting it to go right to 28. I think they're going to let this support break. I'm usually ahead by a long time and look like an asshole, right? I said that here, it came down, said that even when it was up here, I'm even saying it now. But then oftentimes I don't end up acting or looking like the asshole at the end, do I? I only look like it in the beginning because I'm so early to it. And oftentimes I feel stupid seeing it because I'm like, oh my God, this sucks. But I'm seeing it for a reason. So I feel like gold's coming to 2,229. Subsequently, I think B2 Gold, even though it has earnings on Friday, I think we're going to get a rejection here at 283. I hope I'm wrong. It's my baby. I love B2 Gold. But I think it's going to get a rejection possibly here. And I think it might come all the way down here to 255. I think there's a chance that that could be what's happening. I mean, I just do. I can't help it. I can't explain it. I feel like something bigger is happening here. I feel like this is where they slit the throats of everybody. And I think it'd be just too easy right now. Right now it's looking like dead cat bounces. How is everything coming up to its resistance point at the same time? It's got to come past here. Why does it have to stop at these exact spots? Like, ask yourself, why does everything have to stop right at its M-topping reversal? Or why does it look like everything's a dead cat bounce right now and it's hit that resistance, I should say? Why? How is everything at the exact same time hitting that exact same resistance? And, like, That's the next level for XRP. 50 cents is the first tier. 53.6 is, it needs it if it wants to continue. I could just see this scenario, whether we come down now, we're at 53.6, where it does a double bottom there and people go nuts. And that's what we need. If that happens, the fear and greed is going to be into accelerated extreme greed. And the only time you can really have reversals the way you want is when there's extreme fear is what I meant. You need extreme fear like we have, but we need that last drop. Right now, it would still lead to a greed moment where now it just feels like every time we have a big dip, you just buy and you get rich. There comes that moment after a big dip where for whatever reason it looks like everything's fine. Maybe you go to bed at night and you wake up and you're down 17%. And you're like, what the fuck? And really all it's done is come back down to that double bottom. You just had an overzealous return. And it's forming that support hold. So pay attention to everything I've said. I gotta get going, everybody. It's getting late. It's been over an hour. I appreciate everybody who's been here. We managed to eke out one donation tonight. And I appreciate that one person who allowed me to get one donation this evening. XRP Healthcare is doing pretty good, up 7.75%. As we said, it held very well. Held very well. It's breaking up out of this little bull flag. It should at least come up to about 3.7 now that it broke over the 200-day and the 30. And it's just that easy. It broke out of the short-term consolidation. It did not get rejected by its formation setup. And now it's got some moves to be made. We'll see how it comes to 3.7 cents. Or about 3.7 cents. And we'll talk more tomorrow, everybody. Have a blessed evening. And don't forget to hit that